Yo, what it do, MHT crew? I'm Matt.
I'm Pop.
We got Johnny behind the cam, and we had an amazing weekend. Well, not really amazing because
It was good.
No, it wasn't. It was horrible. It was horrible. The Eagles won.
Why is it horrible? That's what you predicted.
Yes, just because I predicted doesn't mean I wanted it to happen. These are the Philadelphia Eagles we're talking about. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be a fan, but
No,
you're a fan of football.
No. I understand that, and I said that. But
You
forget
did.
all that.
Oh,
No,
so
no,
you
no.
didn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it at all. Who wants the Eagles to? They are rowdy, rambunctious.
Man, I could care less about the fans. I'm talking about the actual
Because
game of football.
you're not in the Twitter streets like I am. Unfortunately, I have to defend my football team.
You ain't got to defend them.
Yes, I do.
Let them defend themselves.
Why?
Why not?
They don't defend themselves.
Then there's the problem.
That's what a fan base is for.
Yeah, no.
Yes. But they did exactly what we thought they were going to do.
What's that?
Dominate.
Oh yeah, man. That defensive front line was a beast.
I said it before the game. I said it during the game. They've never seen a front like that. They
No.
blitzed.
Zero.
Philly didn't have to blitz at all.
But you know what I'm tired of?
What?
People blaming Andy Reid that they didn't prepare them for this.
Are you serious?
Yes. And
They're
I'm
actually
like,
doing it?
yeah, they're actually doing it. And I'm like, what were you supposed to do?
I didn't know that.
I mean, they were the more dominant defense, and you knew that going into the game. So you really can't prepare for something that you ain't ready for. I mean, your team ain't ready for it.
I'm surprised they're blaming Andy.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't see that.
look,
I just thought they were just your arms were too short to box.
box with God.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah, I know.
We got that from WWE.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I actually been saying that a long time before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
They've been saying that a long time.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they have. You just too young to hear it and know about it.
Well, you're just old. that's the thing. You're old. You're old. That's what it is, big guy.
But yeah, I'm like, okay, so you give me the coaching strategy that Andy Reid was supposed to do. They were just overmatched.
Yeah,
period.
They were boxing outside their weight class.
Oh yeah, definitely. You knew the offensive line wasn't good in the first place. They had tackles playing guard and guards playing tackles.
And I said, make sure you don't leave DeAndre Hopkins on the island by himself. And it didn't really matter because he had no time. Pat didn't have no time to throw.
Pat was running in circles for his life. And the one call that said, here we go again.
Yep. It was the first drive of the game.
First drive. And it could have, I
did.
understand what they're saying because his hand was in his face.
But it happened fast.
Yeah, but
it happened really fast. So it was kind of, that was a ticky-tack.
Yeah. Even the announcers was like, come on, that wasn't really one.
So, yeah, go ahead. My bad.
But it was, to me, after that, everything kind of calmed down and the calls were on both, and it was a pretty good game. It was good to me. I liked it.
It was a blowout.
Yeah.
It was
But
an
ain't that what I
insane.
didn't-
No, you didn't. Actually,
I said it was going to be close in the
You
beginning.
said it was going to be 24-25.
No, I didn't.
You said it was going to be close. Oh, no, that was you.
Oh, I
What'd you
said
say?
45-28.
Okay. Yeah, I said 31-17. It wasn't. It was going to be a no contest. It really wouldn't have mattered. I mean, you were going to have to. They were out of it from the get go.
No, it didn't even look. They didn't even look like they had a chance from the beginning.
Nah, you just
Pat was running.
Pat was running for his life, but then I remember you said they should have put a spy on him, and I was like,
Why?
what's the point?
You said it. You said why?
What's the point?
No. I said that in the podcast.
I know.
but
That's what
didn't-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
Not
what you
during the
said.
game. After the game started, it was like, no, they don't need
everything I'm saying is from the last pod.
Yeah, I did
You
say
said, they should put a spy on Pat.
Yeah.
I just felt like that front four,
could do the job.
they
And
got
did.
it.
Saquon wasn't.
They didn't need him.
He wasn't the main.
Well-
they kind of shut him down.
Okay, Philly did it. They did this pretty smart. He was their decoy.
Okay.
He was their decoy because remember all they did, they lined up so that Saquon what they said I don't want Saquon beating me. We're gonna force Jalen Hurts to throw. Jalen Hurts had a day.
He did. And the funniest thing is they didn't even do a lot of RPO. They
didn't
didn't
have
do
to.
any. To my remember.
Yeah,
Well, they did one. They did a couple when
They
he
did
did
some
the draw.
RPO, but
When he did a couple of draws.
they didn't really need Saquon, but the Saquon was the decoy. They let A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Jalen Hurts. He ate too. You know, it was a clinic. They put on a clinic. That's how you're supposed to do it when you know you are the best team on the field.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that.
No doubt about it. I mean, you left no doubt.
And can they now stop talking down about Jalen Hurts?
Super Bowl MVP. And there's nothing else to say.
He may not be flashy. He may not have the numbers that he just wins.
He outperformed Patrick Mahomes twice in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they just happened to lose the first one.
They should have won the first one.
Yeah.
I seriously believe this. Had they not played in Arizona and those pass rushers were able to have their footing, this would have been the same thing. It would have been the same thing. Me personally, I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so how do you think the matchup went between the OCs and the DC?
They didn't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have enough. Spags came in there with a decent plan, but you didn't have enough. You didn't have a Snead on the outside to guard one of those guys. You didn't have nobody for real in the back end other than McDuffie McDuffie to really guard anybody like that either. You didn't have him. He didn't have no help.
No.
Chris Jones and them, they was getting moved around.
Yeah, I don't think Chris was healthy. It looked like after the first couple of series, something happened to his knee, and
Healthy
he was
or
kind of
not,
out of it.
he wasn't gonna be enough.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna be enough. I mean, there was a play where Lane Johnson and I think the center he pulled, and he just ragdolled Chris Jones. I'm sorry, Chris Jones, and
Well, I mean,
it wasn't even.
it wasn't pretty. Not for them.
It wasn't. The rookie stepped up for Philly big time. Big time. See, that's what you do during the draft. That's how you draft right there.
Well, they got the blueprint if other teams want to follow it.
The thing is, they were able to get the number one cornerback in the draft and the number two. They didn't like Cooper DeJean because he was a white boy out of Iowa. I'm like, he's over there locking things down. Do you understand?
He did his thing.
He got a pick six.
Yeah, I was about to say
He got a pick six. I mean, dude, they built that roster for times like this.
But see, that touchdown right before halftime took all the air out of them.
It was over.
It took all the air out of them.
Really, when it was 24-zip,
Yeah.
it didn't matter. It didn't matter. There was nothing you could do. You couldn't move the ball up and down the field until in the fourth quarter, I believe.
They didn't cross half field.
They crossed the 50. I think in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm saying it was after half. So they weren't going nowhere.
But this is what I saw coming. I really did. It wasn't going to be, because even on TikTok, I said, if we're being real between these two rosters, Philly, this shouldn't be close. Philly should win in a landslide.
Yeah. Man, do you see how they picked though? The drafts they got?
That's what I was saying.
They were up in the higher echelon of draft picks, but they had winning records.
No, that's what you do when you want guys.
Yeah.
When you know your window is here, it's right now. You have to get a Super Bowl now. You go get guys. You go move things around so that this can happen. They traded Carson Wentz for almost half of everything that they have right now.
There's the blueprint, but can you actually follow it?
It's there. Jordan Davis. Almost everybody. What Jordan Davis was. He was not even. I don't know. He wasn't the first pick. He wasn't the second pick, third pick, fourth pick. There were teams that could have got him.
Oh, there was a whole lot of them.
Teams could have gotten Nakobe Dean. I think he was a free agent.
And then what's his name just
and
fell
Nolan
out.
Smith. They got Nolan Smith later on in that draft too. That same draft, I think.
It's just
year
ridiculous.
after. I'm sorry, the year after, and it's like,
yeah.
I mean, some of the best players came from the SEC. That's on that team.
It's on that team.
That's on that team, and it's like they let that happen, but
Georgia and Alabama.
Georgia, Bama, and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts, they had another moment back when, in the SEC championship back in 2018. He threw him a touchdown, I believe, and they won that championship that year, I believe. I think it was that year. But when they won the championship, that was when Tua got back in.
Right.
But
But you know what fueled it, right?
They won the Super Bowl too. So they were like the second or first. They were the first or the second wide receiver and quarterback duo to ever win a Super Bowl and a national championship.
That's deep.
That's dope.
You know what really fueled it, right? The win. Jalen sitting there watching the confetti come down. He looked at that picture every day, he said.
Yeah, he did. But also that performance wasn't good enough the very first time. And he knew that. Me personally, it was good enough to win. But he felt like in his heart that wasn't good enough to win. Right. Because if it was good enough, we would have won.
You would have won.
So
defense didn't stop him when they needed to stop him.
No, and that's the difference. That's the difference. This was a stout defense. From top to bottom, you had C.J. Gardner-Johnson came back.
Man.
You got the young Bucks on the outside. You had Darius Slay on the other side. Cooper DeJean come in, do what he want to do. We call him Ed Reed Blankenship because that's what he does. He's dope. Reed Blankenship. He's a dog. So you had him on the back end. Zach Bond and Morrow stepped in at linebacker, and that front four was nasty. I mean, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter.
Shout out to the 7-5.
Yeah, shout out to the 757. Josh Sweat. Representing for the 7-5, man. Yeah, that's cool. I love that celebration. They did what they were supposed to do.
They did, man. Remember we said they gap integrity, and they did all of that. They stayed in the run fits. I mean, it was just great football.
I think what surprised me the most was Kellen. I thought
he'd blink.
I thought Kellen would possibly blink, but I still felt like in a way that defense would get it done. Well, Vic Fangio, you really didn't have to. All you had to do was tell your front four, go eat.
Well, I mean, I questioned him when they got down to the 1, 2, 3, 4 somewhere along in there, and they went to goal line, and they didn't get it in. They ended up going for a field goal. Yeah.
Later on, it didn't matter. If you have too much at your disposal.
But it sets the tone, though, for me, that at that point, they could have really, because it was 7-0 at that point. You could have went up 14-0, get that pick. It's 21-0 now.
It don't matter because they won 40 to 22.
40 to 22, yeah.
It doesn't even matter. But, I mean, you can kick the field goal when you trust your defense. When your defense is that stout.
Oh, yeah, they played lights out.
Patrick, I haven't seen Patrick
look mortal.
No, he's definitely looked mortal. He looked mortal this year, all year long. I haven't seen Patrick look like that.
Confused and dazed.
He was rattled the entire game. The entire game because my mom was like, oh, they ain't gonna get him again. They ain't gonna get him again.
3 in a row.
I said, Mom, watch this. You right. They're not gonna get him. He threw a pick six. Yeah. He was rattled. I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, that was a nasty defensive line. That was one of the greatest defensive lines in Super Bowl history. And that could be statistically proven.
See what happens when your quarterback, his timing is sped up because he's trying to get rid of the ball?
It happens.
It happens. And this was by far one of the worst games to let that happen. I can't think of a more deserving group, though, to get this Super Bowl. No, it was, I mean, you know what? I enjoyed watching them play.
I mean, I'm a fan of Smitty. Smitty deserved this. Jalen Hurts deserved it. Saquon, he deserved it. Yeah. That defense. Brandon Graham deserved it. Slay deserved it. There's a lot of guys that were on that team in 22-23 that didn't win that chip, and they got it now. Like,
they got it.
A.J. Brown deserved it.
Yeah.
These guys, they deserved it.
They balled out.
That's all
I can say. They balled out. They did what they were supposed to.
And what's scary is they're still young, so they can do this again.
Oh, what's scary is somebody said they might get Myles Garrett.
We'll see.
That would be ridiculous.
We'll see. I'm not.
Somebody said they compared it. It was like they get him, that's Thanos.
Yeah, they do
the
that.
Infinity Stone.
There's no point in watching it. I mean, really, is it? I mean, what you can get rid of Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's going to go somewhere else if that's the case. Josh Sweat can go somewhere and still.
Oh yeah, he'll be productive.
Exactly, very productive.
I'll take him in Dallas in a heartbeat.
Yes, but if Myles Garrett is on the table, you give me Myles Garrett.
Oh, definitely.
I'm sorry, I love Josh Sweat.
They're not doing
dog.
That. Dallas ain't doing that.
I'm not going to talk Dallas today because I don't take them serious enough to talk about them. They don't deserve to be talked about, in my opinion, because Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. Anyway.
So, what you think the future is for them?
For?
Both teams. Is KC on their way down?
Yeah, I told Johnny, I told him, y'all should have. You don't root against these guys, and when they lose, they get it back in a way that people just don't like. They are going to seek vengeance, and it's going to work out in their favor.
Who?
KC.
You think so?
I know so.
How so? They got to take up. They got to first fix the offensive line and their defensive line.
No. You guys don't worry about that. They're going to get everybody possible.
Yeah,
And they're going. I guarantee you, they're going to go for another three-peat. And next time, they're going to get it.
But I mean, I won't say that because now you go. Andy Reid is not going to coach another 4 or 5 years.
It's okay. That's okay. He coached the next 2 years. Let's say they get it. They get a championship 2 in a row. They get another coach. They're going to get another coach. But that coaching hire, they're going to seriously look. They're going to do their best to try to get the best coach out there. Guarantee you that coach gets them to the Super Bowl too.
Okay. So, well, we kind of can figure what it's like for Philadelphia. You got to knock them off the mountaintop. Right now, they on the top. So,
Well, that's what every Super Bowl winner.
for now, they there. Next year is going to be a hard schedule. It's not going to be the easy schedule we've had in the last couple of years.
They didn't have an easy schedule this year either.
No, but I mean, it's really going to be hard. Well, supposedly, because each season, as I tell you, take care of itself. We're predicting that other teams or saying that the other teams will be good this year. Next year, we don't know.
Yeah, this year's teams that were like 11 and whatever or 14 and 3 or what have you, they may not be there next year. They won't. Sometimes they go 6 and 11 or 7 and what have you. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. You never know. Some guys, well, some teams just take a step back.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be like this next year.
Don't know. We assuming, but we don't know.
We don't know what the future holds. So combines next week.
Wow, seems like it's right here already.
Yeah, the combine's next week. The draft is in April. And OTA start in June. I think May or June.
Well, some start June, July, latter part of June.
No,
some first part.
OTAs.
Oh, OTAs. Yeah. My bad.
Training
I'm thinking
camp.
training camp.
Training camps are going to start sometime in July and August. So we're going to see. It's going to be here like this before you know it.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for another championship.
A well played out championship.
Deserved.
Yep.